You'd be wondering why am I wearing this today, right? Don't worry, I have not been operated with cataract or I have not got any sort of eye illness. The reason why I'm wearing the 3D glasses is because I'm waiting for a 3D content in my home cinema room to watch. Now, is this the story with all of you too? Wherein you have bought 3D equipments or 3D devices and you have not been able to enjoy the 3D so much. Now, in this particular video, we are going to discuss about 3D technology. How did it went to its peak? What were its glorifying years? And how does it work with these glasses? And what does the future for 3D look like? But before I begin, let me introduce myself. Hello everyone, my name is Tanmay Mehta, your home cinema consultant or home theatre wale bhaiya. And in our past videos, as well as in this particular video, we are going to share enough information with all of you so that you can make well-informed, wise and correct decisions when it comes to buying anything to everything in the home cinema domain. Now let us go back to the glorifying years of 3D technology. As we all know, 3D saw a very huge rise post 1950s, and in India we have had our first 3D Hindi movie, which is the Chhota Chetan movie, released back in 1983. This movie gained commercially huge success because of the whole fascination that each of us had in 3D technology. Obviously I wasn't born back then, so for me that Chhota Chetan experience came in much later after some 3-4 movies that were pre-released before then. Now, globally, we saw the Star Wars come into 3D, and later on, the technology of 3D, particularly in analog films, because in analogs, you use two cameras to give you a 3D image, and this technology saw a decline. Then came a movie which technically changed the scope of 3D back again, and that movie was Avatar, which released in 2009 as a first digital 3D film. Now, this digital film, that is Avatar, was globally a huge success again, and people again saw some hopes in the 3D technology. And after that came a series of hits, be it the Guardians of Galaxy, Star Wars, Transformers, Gravity. All these movies, which were either animated or action movies, saw a huge rise in the 3D content creation, and these were either post-processed in 3D or were digitally shot in 3D. So that's where the digital 3D film cinema started rising up. In the same years, we also saw that how TVs started adopting to 3D technology, and a lot of TV panels were sold post 2009, wherein people bought it primarily for the 3D as a reason, and along with that came these wonderful glasses. Now, the joy of watching 3D was to get a feel of having that image closer to you. So it created a third dimension, because the image was no more flat on the screen, but you could feel that something was popping out from the TV screens or on the projector screens as well. And that is why 3D became a very successful phenomena across the cinema or a content scope. Now that we know how 3D started creating its own wonders, let us now check out that what are the types of 3D glasses that one need to possess to enjoy this 3D. Well, the very first technology is the shutter glass technology. These glasses are also referred as active glasses. Now, in this particular active glasses, they alternate between the left and the right perspectives, and this is done after pairing the glasses with your TV or projector display device. This causes each individual eye to only see the image made for that particular perspective, and vice versa. For instance, right is closed when the left image is shown, and left is closed when the right image is shown. Epson uses this same technology of active glasses using RF as the transmission, and are hence called as RF active glasses. They are great fit for delivering good resolutions, but the drawbacks are that the glasses are expensive. It requires constant batteries or charging, and they are very much prone to flickering issues. Now, the motion flow is moderate and are typically not comfortable to wear for a longer time. Due to this, active glasses technology was not widely accepted by all the platforms. So the second technology that we all know today is the polarized glasses. These glasses are also referred as the passive glasses. They are simpler in terms of technology, where the two frames are blended in one by the use of horizontal lines. Passive 3D glasses have different polarization on each lens that fits with their respective lines. For instance, right lens is polarized for even lines and left for odd lines. They have been present widely till date, starting from the early days of 1980s of 3D technology. They don't give you any sort of dizziness, and there is no flickering that is observed in these lenses, and that's why these passive or polarized glasses are the most comfortable to wear for longer duration of time. The cost is also extremely less compared to the active glasses, and hence we could see these 3D polarized glasses across all the modern day cinema halls as well as in all the DLP projectors. The only drawback of these glasses is that they compromise on the video resolution vertically, and the brightness and colors are a little poor. Now this was about the glasses, but do you know what? There is a particular glass film that is directly available on the display, wherein you don't have to wear 3D glasses but still you could see the 3D image, and this was popularized by one of the favorite game maker, that is Nintendo. So Nintendo came up with a device called Nintendo 3DS, wherein if you sit in a particular location or a position in front of that TV, you could get a 3D image, but immediately when you shift to either of the sides, the 3D used to go away, and that's why that did not get much popularized. But the game did ensure that people could watch 3D without these glasses. Now let us look at why was the 3D still fading away. Well, to understand that, let us first understand the ecosystem. Now when I talk about the ecosystem, it starts right from the content makers till the video display services. So for instance, when you're buying a home theater system, the content needs to be in 3D. The AV receiver or the amplifier that is connected with it, who is going to pass the input source, needs to be 3D. Your Blu-ray player or the Blu-ray image or the Blu-ray disc has to be 3D compatible, and ultimately the main video display, that is your TV or a projector screen, needs to have 3D. Now all these things costed a lot, and that is why the ecosystem of 3D was expensive to get it into the homes. Similarly, in the commercial cinema halls as well, the 3D content was very limited to either animated films or action films. Now animated films, those saw great success because of the colors that it could reproduce, but when it comes to the action film, it couldn't really deliver that kind of great impact because the black levels are very high and the darker scenes are very high in a 3D content. So during these scenes, getting that image popping out from the screen was very difficult. The third reason why we see the 3D technology fading away is because of the rise of the OTT and the TV content. Like, people wanted to see good content directly on their homes but without going to the cinema halls, and this content wasn't available in 3D technology. Now because this content wasn't there, people started adapting to 2D technology, and the old purchased 3D devices stopped being used as 3D and they were merely 2D flat panels or 2D projector screens. Now, while we have spoken about the ecosystem and the products and the technology requirement for it, let us now also look at what kind of future technologies started damaging this 3D environment. The very first reason is when we started seeing at HDR, HDR10, HLG formats. Now yes, these colorful formats are very important because they started giving immersive experience for video viewing, and this eliminated the need of 3D in a home. Second thing that is currently on a very big rise today, that we also saw in our recent video, is that the need for laser projectors in the home cinema markets started shooting up. Even a commercial cinema hall started converting their DLP projectors to a laser projector, and these laser projectors have got very high brightness, due to which the need for 3D again started showing a little decline. And the third reason why we see a challenge to 3D getting more and more popular is that the copyright versions that started happening on even the projectors which could convert 2D to 3D. So for instance, there is a projector wherein you can convert a 2D content to 3D, but because of the copyright issues, this content couldn't be converted to 3D necessarily, and 3D was no more a choice. Now let us come to the final verdict and conclusion about 3D, whether you should really invest your money into 3D products. Well, here's what we think. 3D products are not mandatory in a custom home cinema requirement. For instance, if you are planning for home cinema setups in your living rooms, bedrooms, or dedicated cinema rooms, 3D is something which is not going to be important, because 3D products are not going to be available as much as they were before. Like recently we have seen many new models of TV as well as projectors not giving you a 3D playback support at all, which definitely means that the market is for 3D is now shrinking from this particular home cinema category to an only focused commercial cinema hall category, wherein the commercial cinema hall will continue to have 3D movies and 3D content, but again that is going to be restricted for action as well as animated films. So in case if you're planning to buy or design a home cinema solution for yourself, and if you feel that buying these 3D glasses, buying a Blu-ray player and buying those expensive Blu-ray discs is not something that you would want to go for, then try to stick to your normal 2D content for your home cinema requirement. But when it comes to commercial cinema hall requirement, that is where a 3D technology can still see its good years. That's it from my end. I hope you could find value in this video, and if this video was insightful, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because as promised, we are going to help you make well-informed, wise and correct decisions to buy anything and everything in the home cinema space. That's it from my end. I, Tanmay Mehta, your home cinema consultant or home theatre wale bhaiya, will see you all in my next video. Thank you.